Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Gamer Social Club weekly news podcast. We are recording on Thursday, the 20th of November, 2025. We are going to be discussing the Xbox partner preview that happened earlier today. And if we have enough time, we will also be looking at the nominations for the Game Awards, especially who may have got a snub or two here and there. But before we get to all that, of course, I am your host, Harry, aka Neighbors Crayfish. And joining me today, I have a full team, which is great to see. And we'll start, of course, with the greatest showman that I know, which is, of course, Adam, aka Oh No, Not Addy.
Hello.
How you doing, Freddie?
I'm good, thank you. I've had a few sleepless nights this week, insomnia kicking my ass, but I'm all right. Good to see you guys. Happy to chat. A
Oh,
good show, the awards, and all that nonsense.
yes, yes. And another good roundup by you, sir, of course. We'll get to that in a minute. And of course, we also have with us today uh, our very own Steam Deck verified Mark, aka We Are Working the Hive. How are you, sir?
I'm really good, thanks, Harry. Feeling like a dinosaur this week, having realised the Xbox 360 turns 20 in just a couple of days. So,
Mhm.
yeah, that's making me feel absolutely ancient. Dusting off the some of the dust from some of my old boxes for an article this week, but yeah, I think things are good. And although completely irrelevant to the podcast, my football team, Birmingham City, have just revealed their new stadium today. So if you see a football
Wow.
stadium going around that looks like it's got about 10 chimneys coming out of it, that's us. So going to be one of the England's largest stadiums, hosting NFL and everything. So it's been a good day. Very excited about that.
You,
My
you
Very
second
talk,
love
cool.
after
you
games.
talk about it like it's a move. Like, have you seen Mortal Engines? It sounds like you're talking about a moving thing, like chimneys coming out of
Owl's
it.
Moving Castle.
If you see a stadium going around,
If you get a second while we're on and you Google our new stadium, it literally looks like chimneys are coming out of it. So it's
amazing.
pretty unique, let's just say. But 62,000 of the finest blue noses will be housed in there in a couple of in about 5 years. So exciting times.
Mm.
Very cool. I have to check that out. And rounding out the team today, we have our very own HD Dara. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good. I'm doing good. I feel like I'm like in the Matrix or like Serial Experiments Lane over here. Just I got a new mouse and keyboard for this setup I've had with the Steam Deck, and it's just wires. Like my whole desk is just full of wires. It's crazy because I've got my microphone, I've got my headphones, I've got a USB multi-tap plugged into the dock for the
Oh,
Steam Deck. It's just crazy.
yep. Love it. I've got a bit of I think I've said before, I've got a bit of a similar situation here with my screen because my laptop screen doesn't work. So I've got a screen propped up against it. And there's a whole bundle of wires just off to the side that, yeah, gives it that nice sort of cyberpunk-esque look to it. A very budget version. But
Don't
yeah,
look under my desk. It is just horrendous. It's a massive hazard under there.
that's what we
Christ.
always describe it as. It's just a cyberpunk like wasteland under there.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
it.
absolutely. Yeah,
It's an aesthetic. It's an aesthetic.
Exactly.
yeah.
It's a
It's a
choice.
choice.
But of course, we are a few members of the Gamer Social Club. If you do not know of us, we are a site that covers gaming news, reviews, previews, interviews, editorials, and guides, and anything else we can think of for that matter over at www.gamersocialclub.ca. We are, well, there are three pillars for our website that you need to know about, basically, which is first and foremost, we are a grassroots independent site. We do this, driven by our, passion for video games. I wanted to share that with all of you. Number two, any game that we review that we will finish, we will 100% if possible, and we'll roll credits on. If we can't do that for whatever reason, like a racing title, for example, we will play as much of it as we can before giving you our thoughts, opinions, and score on the game. And third and final, we run all of our news through a rumor-free filter. So you can be sure that any news you get from us is going to be factual. It's not based off of Reddit or social media rumors or anything like that. It is from a credible source, and we will keep it up to date as best as we can moving forward with any stories that require it and making any corrections that we need to as well along the way. Of course, if you'd like to, get to know us a bit more or hang out with any of our other readers or listeners or viewers, come and join us at the Gamer Social Club Discord. We are holding more and more community nights, gaming nights, and things like that as we go forward, and we like to sort of chat with everybody in our Discord, and of course share everything that we put up on the site there as well. Yeah, again, if you'd like to keep up with everything that we do, follow us on our socials. So you can find us at Twitter/X at gamer_s_c. And then the rest of socials like Blue Sky, Threads, Facebook, all that sort of stuff at Gamer Social Club. And of course, you can find the rest of us also individually with our respective social media and all that. This will all be down below alongside anything that we covered today as far as our own articles. So you can find all those links and everything like that. And yeah, if you enjoyed today's episode, leave a like. If you would have any thoughts or any comments for it, please drop it in the comment section down below. And if you'd like to see more content like this show today, the Weekly News Pod, or our sister show, as it were, the Girl Pod, which comes out every Monday, hosted by Candy and Lady V, then yeah, consider subscribing to the channel to keep up with all of our content. Yeah, with the rigmarole out of the way, we move on to our first segment, as always, which is what we've been playing. I myself have not got much to catch up on. I am playing one game, which I'm playing for review. But otherwise, that is it. So I will pass it over to the rest of my teammates here. Let's go around the other way. So we'll start off with you, Dara. What have you been playing?
I have been playing something I know Mark will be delighted to hear. I've been playing Hades 2.
Starts early.
Game of the Year nominee.
Yeah, I've been playing Game of the Year nominee Hades 2. And, honestly, I'm happy to see it up there. It's really good. I'm really enjoying it. The structure of this one is quite different to the first one. There's essentially two kind of versions of runs that you can do, and I'd say I'm somewhat close to beating the game, like overall. I've done a couple of successful runs for each, but it is a bit of a process getting like the final ending. And I'm over 20 hours in, and I'm just continuously impressed by just the level of content and the pacing of the content, and just the amount of game there is. Despite it being a roguelike, being different variations on the same kind of loop and stuff like that. In terms of like compared to the first Hades, it's very impressive how they've managed to build another game out of Hades 1 and done the kind of, making that one kind of look like a prototype along the way, just with how much they built upon it.
Very cool. Yeah. Yeah. Because of course, there's sort of, it's not like a sort of up and down version. It's almost like different worlds you're visiting to do your runs in, I take it, from what I've seen, because they look very visually distinct. And it seems like in one of them, you're kind of under certain other duresses, like you already got like a limited amount of time to do it, or you might lose everything.
I think you can talk. I don't think it's considered a spoiler to kind of talk about it because it has been there since early access. But basically, in the original Hades, it's just a kind of a straight shot, linear progression through to Hades. In this one, they've actually basically to get to Kronos, who's kind of treated as the big baddie, you do a similar run to the one in Hades, but shorter. But it's actually more experimental. There's like one area that's very open, and you can have different options for rewards. And that's it's condensed, but still also quite expanded upon. But for the other run, basically there's a surface run. I won't spoil kind of who the enemy is in that or anything, but that is its own run. That is it's almost like Hades 3 essentially, because it is way higher difficulty, and it has its own gods and goddesses and stuff that you encounter, and its own set of boons and upgrades and weapons you can unlock for doing that. It's essentially they both combine together to give you the kind of true progression of Hades 2. And yeah, just the way that they've remixed the mechanics is really cool. The way that they've built it on top of everything is just, it's neat. And I didn't touch the early access, so it's all fresh to me as well. So yeah, it's just been really shocking, like to go in there and just be like, okay, how like they really cooked here, because that first game felt massive. Somebody was like, it was pretty much my first roguelike. And now this just feels like, whoa, like, they clearly did have more ideas.
I'm
just laughing because just see when the Dara said it's massive, and Mark was like, yes, massive. 30 minutes of gameplay.
It's crazy to do that for Hades.
Yeah. I mean, so we like comparing.
You know what?
Go on, Mark. Go on.
Sorry, Harry. I was just going to say, like before, that I generally think the gameplay in Hades 1 I thought was superb. I really like the gameplay.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
after about 2 or 3 times, I was like, I'm not really getting where I'm going here. And I'm just getting to the final boss, and I feel like I'm just kind of going on a loop. But that's kind of like my roguelike perspective, which, Dara, don't let me burst your bubble because it sounds like you're having a great time.
No, like to that, I'll say like the thing that keeps me coming back to these is just that I find that for each run, I don't necessarily lose anything. I do gain something. So like with the early hours of this game, that's especially the case because this took me way quicker to complete a run than Hades 1 did. Hades 1 actually took me about 15 or 20 hours just to get through that one run. Like I said, it's like my first roguelike. But for this one, maybe it was like my third or fourth run that I had beaten Chronos
Yeah.
on, and I'm currently, doing kind of the surface runs now. And since then, it's been easier, but I still keep being rewarded for, both my successes and my failures, which I do like about that. And the dialogue as well, like the storytelling and kind of the relationships that you can build and stuff, I find is like a satisfying thing to keep me kind of wanting to do one more run and one more run. But obviously, I know that's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own different interpretation of what is rewarding with a game and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, and it does sound like Hades 2 has done enough. Not even necessarily to differentiate from the original, from the first game, although it does sound like it has done. But also, it kind of maybe sounds like it's also a refining of the original ideas. Because, like you said, Hades 1 was quite big, and we've seen over the years roguelikes in general have tended to get shorter. It feels like, I'd say, since like Hades and those sort of earlier roguelikes we saw coming about, because now it's about wanting to keep people's attention, but you can't necessarily have them going for long, maybe 45 to an hour long runs necessarily.
Yeah.
But again, it comes down to what people are after, I guess. And it sounds as if they may be getting those two different types of runs depending on which one you're doing in the second game.
Yeah, and you touched on something there that I think was very people really appreciate about Baldur's Gate 3, which is that Hades is okay with you missing content as well. Like I feel like there's a deliberate pace to which like the narrative is given to you and upgrades and weapons and such are given to you, but it's also okay with you missing a lot of that stuff and just moving past it and just engaging with the loop and stuff. In a way that like I feel like a lot of other roguelikes are like they're almost under designed in a way where it's like, oh, we made this so you have to engage with it. It's like Hades, you can afford to just ignore the fishing and ignore stuff that does actually feed back into your progression and you can use to upgrade things back at like the base and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, it's interesting. I mean, again, I haven't played enough of the first game, and I haven't played Hades 2 yet, but they are games I would love to get around to. It's a series, it looks. And I've enjoyed other Supergiant games like Bastion and Transistor. Transistor is one of my favorite games. I love that game. Although it took me a second attempt to actually get into it. The first time I tried, I just couldn't wrap my brain around it. But I'm glad I went back. But yeah, anything else you've been playing this week?
No, just that. I'm still chipping away at it. I'm hoping to have it finished by Game of the Year stuff, but we'll see.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Mark, what have you been playing?
So my main game time continues to be Battlefield 6. So that's typically my game with the guys.
I mean, Battlefield 1 is the superior Battlefield, but
that is correct. Battlefield 1 is the go Battlefield. But I'm still having a great time with 6. They've just released the mid-season 1 update earlier this week, adding a new map which takes place in California, and there's golf caddies. There is lots of new good environments, new places to blow up. There is a new game mode as well, which I haven't had a chance to play yet, but loving kind of the standard conquest, breakthrough, rush, the typical Battlefield great modes. Having such a good time with it. Haven't really felt bored with it at all once. Yeah. And for a multiplayer game, when I've been such a big Call of Duty player for years and haven't really played Battlefield much for about 3 or 4 years, it's great to have that feel of being pulled away from COD. So Battlefield's been such a good time, and the post-launch content, and we're 6-7 weeks out away from launch has been good, and if they can continue that support, then I think we're onto a great Battlefield entry. Outside of that, I finally completed my first ever playthrough on Dara said about deck. Been on my deck and completed Half-Life 1 for the first time, and that was a fantastic experience. So thoroughly enjoyed that. I played through 2 on the Orange Box back in 2007 when it came out on 360, probably about then.
Right, yeah.
And I think I played a bit of episode 1. I definitely didn't finish it all, but I thoroughly enjoyed 1. And what I can't get over is how revolutionary that game must have felt at the time, because that was roughly around when GoldenEye came out, maybe about a year or so later. Obviously different platforms, different control schemes for the time, but I just can't, I can see so much that games are still taking from that Half-Life formula and DNA, like nearly 30 years later. I can even see the way that some doors open and things. I could even feel like Souls elements coming into it. Maybe that's just kind of modern glasses looking back on these older games and trying to putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5. But yeah, definitely some amazing gameplay tropes. I thought the story probably the weakest point. I didn't think there was too much to it that really engaged me that much, but gameplay wise for a nearly 30-year-old shooter was absolutely fantastic. Had such a good time, and again, like I said, I just can't imagine how amazing that game would have been all that time back then. There's definitely some odd game design decisions that they wouldn't get away with now, of course, but that's just the way things progress. I thought the final boss was absolutely dreadful, like really, really bad. I can't remember what it's called, but it was just awful. Like, did not enjoy that one bit. But aside from that, I thought it was a fantastic game. I've already picked up 2, so I'll run through that again on the deck in due course. I tried to start is it Blue Shift or something, like one of the the extra add-ons that was made.
Oh yeah.
What wasn't deck verified, so all my buttons would do weird things. So I'll probably have to plug in a keyboard to get that to work properly. But definitely want to go through and experience kind of the full Half-Life repertoire after that. And yeah, it was such a fantastic time. Took probably about 12 hours all in, which was the sweet spot. A few more, I think I would have started to get a bit tired of it, but it was the sweet spot. Managed to find a online lobby, so I played some shoot 'em ups with shoot 'em up action with some people who've probably been there for about 15-20 years playing the same shit. But
who's this guy?
That was I got absolutely fried. I'm used to having aim assist on console shooters, and there's none of that playing on a deck in a PC lobby, so it's going absolutely slayed. But yeah, it's I had a really good time, and if we get Half-Life 3, who knows? Who knows whether that will come alongside the Steam machine? It definitely won't, but
can't count to 3.
They'll make it, but it'll be VR.
Half-Life Alex is Half-Life 3, right?
Yeah,
I wouldn't even be too mad about that if it did run on the Steam machine. I'd just stream it to my Quest.
Oh, yeah.
Really bad, yeah. And of course, to round up this section, we'll go with you, Adam. What have you been looking forward to? What have you been playing even? Jumping ahead to the end.
I will quickly say I had an evening, a couple hours playing Black Ops 7 multiplayer because I'll give it a go. And I know that there's consternation around skill-based matchmaking, but fuck me, there's some sweaty people in that now that's gone. Because like I do all right in COD, and then there's people who just harass you. It's fucking horrendous. There's got to be a balance, right? Of I don't want to be skill-based matchmaking versus can you keep these pricks away from me? Because it's not fun. If I'm just getting melted as soon as I spawn, it might be the chaos of the maps, but it felt like. Sometimes I think it was Advanced Warfare. I got really annoyed with it because it felt like hardcore mode because you couldn't react. You were dead before you. If they spot you first, you're dead, and you need to be able to there's got to be a bit of back and forth about reacting and stuff like that. And it just some of it might be just because it's the new game or whatever else. But I did all right with Black Ops 6, and then fucking it's nonsense. But yeah, so I'll go back to it because I've done some of the achievements now, and I need to keep trying to get all of the multiplayer ones. But yeah, it was. Just felt more of the same. Even some of the maps are the same. Of course they are. So it's but they've got a 20-year in the future vibe. All right, okay. So yeah, so I had a good go on that.
Have you played any of the campaign or the zombies or anything else?
No, I've not yet. I will do because I want all the achievements and I'm a sucker for it. Even though the campaign's meant to be dreadful, but I don't know if that's dreadful because it's not COD. I think the campaign would be all right if it wasn't the madness that you might have seen online. Because if you took away Call of Duty and called it something else, it might be fine.
Mind's eye.
Do you know what I mean? Well, no, I don't mean like no. If you just like, I was thinking the game that reminds me of when you see that clip that's doing the rounds of the big
Yes.
monster thing. It reminded me of what do you call it? Shadow Warrior. It just reminded me of that shooter. Like you're fighting crazy shit. If it was if that was Shadow Warrior 4, people would be all over that shit. If the gameplay is fine, stuff like that, but people are trying to because it's COD, like nah, shit. Like, well, so I'm yet to make a decision on that because I understand. I totally get Dano's article around. We need to go back to World War II. I've been banging that drum since the first time they didn't do World War II. Like, no, bring it back to World War II. Like, it's the first modern one. No, World War II. World at War is the best one for me. That was, like, superb. Like, it's just, I love storming the Reichstag at the end. Fantastic. Like, give me more World War II. Yeah, absolutely. Amazing. Like, stuff like that is so cool. But no, let's go wall running and future nonsense and Matrix bullshit. Like, come on, get on. But no, that's not really what I've been playing the most of. I clearly have thoughts on it. I only spent a couple hours on it. No, what I've been mainly playing is trying to wrap up Possessors. Yeah, because the Possessors.
I missed out on doing it in unison last time.
Oh yeah, Possessors. No, you missed it then. The Possessors.
So we'll do this at some point. I could take a screenshot.
There we go. Anyway, yes, I've been playing that, which is last week I briefly talked about it because I just started it. I'd done a couple of hours, and now I'm much like I'm 18 hours, 17, 18 hours into it now. I'm at the back end of it, I think, for sure, because I've done like the main quest, and honestly, you get the main quest immediately. Like you need to get, I think I said last time, you need to get these 4 eyes. Premises, because people might have listened last week. Like you're playing as this girl called Luca, who immediately starts by having something huge fall on her and cut her legs off, and she's about to bleed to death. And there's a demon there, and he's like, "I can save you, but I'm also dying, so I'm gonna have to possess you. But then I'll bring your legs back, and you won't die. But I won't die either." And they're like, "Well, if you I don't trust you." Like, well, no, if you help me get home, I'll keep you alive. And they make a deal. So they've made a deal, so they can't he's not gonna screw her over, sort of thing. And then you've got it's a Metroidvania. And you do lots of combat, and you start with fuck all abilities, and you've got to find all your abilities and explore. And the map's expansive, and there's the whole place, you've been locked in. Almost like Raccoon City, where you get locked down and you are trapped in there, and everyone's been possessed by demons, but they're not like the demons like the one that's possessed you. They've gone feral because it's like over time, and they lose their will and all this sort of stuff, so they start attacking you and shit like that. And it's very nonsense, but it's great fun. And there's a great dynamic I think I talked about last week where she doesn't like him, but he doesn't like her. They're just like having a go at each other all the time. It's like, oh, shut up, you're a dick, and it's just. It's just really funny. But it's I'm really enjoying, actually. It's lots of fun. I quite like a Metroidvania, even though I don't play lots of them. But when I do play them, it's really satisfying to get all into the nooks and crannies. And you're like, I'm sure there's an ability. I'm just like, I can't get that. It must be an ability that I haven't got yet. And so you do that and you find them all. I've got all the abilities now, and I've found loads of stuff and cool weapons and shit. And you just picking up like baseball bats. You start off with kitchen knives to fuck shit up, and then you get a mouse for a special ability. You're swinging a mouse at somebody, like not a furry mouse, like a keyboard mouse. It's like, I've got there, smack a demon with a mouse and it dies. So it's super fun, but like it's really just kind of quite endearing to explore and find out what's going on. Essentially, the demons there's like the umbrella corporation of this game, Agradyne, I think they're called. They've got installations throughout this city, and they've been doing secret research on trying to break through this rift where the demons came from. And then they got through the rift and they captured the demons. They've been experimenting on them. So the demons, one of them who's now possessing your main character, is probably pissed off about it all. But one of them that escapes, the demons possessing you, his boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, I should say, is like mega pissed and starting to like absorb and consume humans and demons alike because he wants to be all powerful and take over and destroy all humanity and stuff like this. So you're like, oh, we need to deal with him, sort of thing. So it's pretty cool and it's good fun. It could, because of Metroidvanias though, you're like kind of, you're going here, there, and everywhere. You don't know if you're going the right way and stuff like this. So every so often you do something, and then like there'd be like a really key plot point, and you'd be like, oh, they're starting to develop a bit of warmth to each other, even though they're still kind of dealing with the issues that deal with, like all of humanity's dying, and this demon's possessed me and that sort of thing. And every so often, like, no, I get it. It's tough because they can see each other's memories because they're sharing the one body. So they started to see, get more about them and stuff like that. And then every so often you'll go to a bit like I did a side quest from earlier on, and I went back and finished it off, and then I'm much more hostile to each other. And it was quite jarring. Gosh, you're such a prick! Shut up, man! And like, oh, I know it was really hard for you to break up with that guy who used to love him, and I was like, yeah, you're a fucking prick. Just like, okay. The only thing that really bugged me, I spent about 3 hours just really exploring Nutcat because I had no idea where to go. Like, I must be missing something. I must have missed like a small, because it's like you slide under, you get the ability to slide underneath. And I must have missed one somewhere. I was looking for everywhere, and there's these walls with like an orange thing in. There's like they're above and below or on the sides. If they're below, you get the ability to smash through them, but you can't do it if they're like a full wall like that. It must be an ability I haven't got yet. I'm looking everywhere, and I said in my Atomfall review, or the thing I loved about Atomfall and Hell Is Us, is just like you are like your instinct. You're led to just think about maybe I'll try this, I'll do that, and you're meant to try it out and just trust your gut instincts. Never once occurred to me that the lasso I got super early on to swing off stuff, I could use to grab the wall and break and pull it open. So I'm looking for this ability or really to smash through a wall, and I had it from the off, no instruction that is a thing you can do, and I didn't even clock that I could, and I'm like, like, I'm really annoyed the game didn't tell me, but I'm also really annoyed. I just love these games that do your instinct, and I didn't fucking do it. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's super fun. Go on, sorry.
Do you think it's something you missed, like you said, with like some of the previous content, like in the game, like the side quests and something? Do you think it's something that you may have unfortunately just sidestepped?
It could have been because like I found the last ability and it gave you a bit of white writing on the screen, like as part just like on the level, and like if it did that. And it was like on the wrong background, I might have missed it. It's entirely possible, but I don't recall ever seeing a thing saying you can do this. But there's lots of like bosses to fight, and they're a good challenge. They do hit hard, and like you find this ability. You find like a store later on to like upgrade your health and stuff like that. But you don't get that for a while, and you get like two flasks almost like and you just. They fucking kill you, man. They really hit hard. So like, I'm playing on normal difficulty, but god, but the bosses are really fun. Like they're kind of all very different, and they're kind of different demons or possessed humans that like I fought a big gym teacher earlier, and he's just throwing baseballs at me and shit like that, but like demonic baseballs, and it's just like it's really fun. I really like it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I haven't settled on a final score yet because it might not stick the landing or whatever else, but I'm enjoying it for what it is. Couple of finickiness with a bit of platforming, but nothing like infuriating. So yeah, I fully recommend it. It's only on PC and PlayStation at the moment, but I hope it might come to the platforms. But
yeah, absolutely. But yeah,
sorry, that was a real ramble there. Sorry.
That's all right, man. It's all right. But no, I really look forward to seeing your review when you go around to that, obviously.
Yes, I hope I have a lot of guides as well because I've been documenting everything.
Excellent. Well, I'm happy to hear that.
Although I can't figure out how to get the fucking captures off my PlayStation. Like I plugged my hard drive in, and like, this phone's not supported. Like, maybe it needs formatting. No, it's fine. I format it in the PlayStation. It goes, if you format it in the PlayStation, you can't use it for captures. Like, what was I supposed to fucking do then?
We can figure it out after the pod.
I think now they let you upload them to the app. I
don't think you can do videos because they're too big.
Oh, videos, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we can maybe try and troubleshoot this afterwards. But yeah, before we move on actually into the news, I'll quickly mention as well, speaking of articles and reviews and things like that, Mark, of course, you highlighted the 20th anniversary of 360. And of course, you've written up a fantastic little editorial about that, which I thought would be good to highlight as well, because as much as you kind of we were chatting about it in the Discord, and everyone was kind of mentioning different games they liked from the launch and that. That image really is like such a great sort of example of it, and I think it's nice that everybody kind of had a different game. Like I know Dara, I was with you when you mentioned Condemned. And I was like, yeah, Condemned's the one that I remembered like most from that singular image. But yeah, it was fun talking with people about like AMP3 and all sorts of games like that. So yeah, definitely wanted to highlight that and make sure people want to check that out. And we'll put that obviously in the description as well below. But yeah, did you have any sort of thoughts you wanted to share on that quickly before we move on?
Yeah, thanks for raising it, Harry. It's probably my favorite article I've written since I've been with the site. Actually, I was super happy putting it together, and it was kind of buoyed by the conversation that we had in the Discord yesterday about kind of original 360 launch games, and I just went over to my shelf and pulled my favorites off the shelf, which are here and feature in the article. So I've got I've got Perfect Dark, Call of Duty 2, King Kong, AMP3, PGR3, and Condemned, which I would say would be my 6 launch masterpieces. Well, not masterpieces, but greats. And Hexic HD gets a mention as well, but that was on everyone's hard drive at 360 launch. But yeah, as we get towards 20 years of the 360, I don't think we've probably had a console launch that's been as good for a lineup ever since. And I don't think there's really been many more before that either. Such a fantastic launch lineup, and it really set the bar for what would be Xbox's greatest generation. And yeah, what started to be just a few opinions on the games ended up being about a 2,700 word thesis on the topic. So it took me forever to put that together. But
Well,
please
it's a great
do go
read.
and take a look. There's some really kind of personal thoughts and personal perspectives on the games in there, and some really good memories of my time with the games. And I'd say Call of Duty 2 probably would take the biscuit as being the one of my favourite of the games there. It's certainly the most played. But Condemned, I know Dara, you mentioned how great that was, and it actually got
Yeah.
delisted recently, which is criminal.
Yeah, on Halloween, which is insane.
That's
Awful. So, but if you want to play it, go and get a physical copy, guys. Go and
Yeah.
get down to CEX or GameStop, and you'll probably get one for an inflated price now it's delisted. But yeah, that article's on the site, and it's a bit of a love piece. And if you do have the time, and you probably take you a good 10 minutes to get through, but it's a really good piece of some classic games that hopefully people will remember really fondly. I certainly do. And yeah, the launch to lineup was far beyond the 7 games that I chose. But yeah, set up an amazing console generation, and yeah, please go and take a look. It was a really fun to write, but also mildly emotional, actually.
yeah, trip down memory lane. No,
Shout
it's
out
great.
to the King Kong game as well. That game is really cool. One of my favorite games is Beyond Good and Evil, and a lot of the same people that worked on that worked on the King Kong game. It's just really weird because it's like a full on Ubisoft game. It's like a licensed game. I just think it's really cool.
Yeah, one of the few really good licensed games.
I think my favorite, because I love all those games you talked about, but I think the one that really sticks in my mind, because it was a few months later when Oblivion came out, and I've never experienced like an Elder Scrolls game, because I didn't get it. I didn't get Morrowind on the original Xbox, but like going in the special edition, the brown one with the brown box one with the map and stuff, and I just remember just getting absolutely blown away and lost in that world. It's like, what is all this? It's amazing. Yeah, I love it. It's a great console. Many happy memories with that.
Yeah, no, it's a great article, Mark. So yeah, please go and check that out, everybody. But yeah, we will now move on to the news, and we are going to be starting with the Xbox partner preview, which happened earlier. And Adam has done another fantastic roundup of all of the announcements, and you'll find that linked below. But yeah, I think to kick us off before we get into picking one or two of our highlights from it, because there weren't loads of games from it, thankfully, but at the same time, there's probably enough that we can all pick, I think a couple each. But yeah, we'll go around again and see what everybody thought of the show. I will kick off if that's okay, and just say I really enjoyed it. I went back and watched it 'cause again, I started covering one of the announcements. So of course, as soon as you're doing that, you're missing out on whatever's on screen. I'm listening to it, but I can't remember what was being said and who said and what was what and all the rest of it. But yeah, I haven't gone back and watched it a second time. really enjoyed it. I thought, again, pacing was great. I liked the little sort of reprieves they have where they have those little moments where they'll show like the first three games and what they said was part of those. So that this was a new game reveal. This one's about it being announced for Xbox Game Pass. This is a new trailer. I like that breakdown. It's nice. It's a nice reminder of the bit you've just watched, and that's probably also a quick and easy way to then also just be like, here's what we're seeing, and just use those as screenshots and things like that, which is great. I also like the fact that we didn't have any talking head moments. If we were going to have any, it would have been nice to have obviously had devs, doing like a dev spotlight or anything like that. But we also didn't have any from any of the, head honchos or anything like that. We had no Phil Spencer show up or Sarah Bond. And to me, I'm like, that's the way to approach it. If you're not going to have any developers show up and have a spotlight moment, I don't want it to see anybody. I just want it to be games. That's it. And I think that was the right approach at this and for this one. But otherwise, yeah, I don't know if we want to grade them necessarily, but I had a good time, and I actually thought there were quite a few games I liked the looks of. But yeah, start. Dara, what did you think?
Oh yeah, I thought it was good. Like, it was about within my expectation. Like completely. They basically said like, oh, the games for it were going to be Reanimal, Tides of Annihilation, and 007. And even then, I think 007, it was pretty much just like the car revealed.
Yes.
But it was still kind of like, okay, if that's like your heavy hitters, I think that sets the kind of precedent for it. This is going to be smaller scale stuff, but like, more attention on stuff that wouldn't get attention in something like the Game Awards. Because I think, quite honestly, we're so close to the Game Awards now that like all of the big announcements are going to be there. So yeah, it was within expectation for me. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, fair enough. Adam, what did you think?
I really enjoyed it, actually. I think there's a great variety of different games from different devs, and it was a real good mix. There was something largely for everybody, I would say, in the mix. And I agree. I think there was, like, because I do a lot of showcases, as we know, and I think there's something about that there's a place for, Phil Spencer or Sarah Bond to appear, and that's at Xbox's main showcase, a first party one, like in Summer Game Fest and stuff like that. And they've got the dev direct to do the deep dives. If you try to smash that in as well as have that many games, it becomes too long.
Yeah.
So I think it works well to kind of just focus on the games, and I think there's a great mix of stuff. And I really like the stops, like you say, Harry, the kind of the recaps, so you don't miss anything, because there's a lot of information, and this is partly of Xbox's own making, but because they've got so many like schemes, like Play Anywhere, which is great, but like you've got Play Anywhere, Game Pass, it's cloud, it's Xbox on PC or PC on Xbox or Xbox Cloud PC or whatever it's called.
Game preview,
game preview, and on all those different things. So that it's good that they're finding ways to remind you those bits. I also really like that they're just putting all of the platforms on.
Yeah.
As well, because there's no fucking about, is there? There's not like that whole, oh, is it going to come to, and you have to do searching and see if anyone's got any other information, and it all feels just a little disconnected. It feels much more together in line of what Microsoft's going for, I suppose, with that kind of vision. But no, I really liked it. I really liked a lot of good games on there as well. I don't know what you would complain about, really. I don't know, like if you were gonna grade it, I had a quick look, because Jeff Keighley normally does the,
of course,
how did you rate the showcase, and everyone, it took him a while to get it off. Normally, it's a Sony one, he'll have it first straight away, won't it? Like Xbox, so it came along afterwards. But like, loads of people are pressing D, and I'm like, why? What? I mean, I don't like rating shows. If you're gonna rate them, you should be rating. I think I said this in my article about showcases. If you're gonna rate a showcase, you should be rating the presentation of it and how it's delivered, because games are subjective. So if you love sports games and it was all sports games, you'd give it an A. But everyone doesn't like sports games because that was rubbish. Like, but was the showcase good? Like, did they deliver it well? Is it keeping you interested? And the game's a part of that, sure. But you're not gonna like everything, so it's a bit weird to score it, because it's Anyway, so yeah, I don't know why people would complain about it. To be honest, it was quite short. It was like half an hour. Like,
Yeah.
It wasn't an hour and a half of nonsense either. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I will say, like, I'm surprised by people rating it a D. I think that's a bit extreme, but but yeah, to each their own. That's a
Just
word.
online
But,
trolls, isn't it? I'm probably Jeff Keighley just getting all of his accounts and pressing D.
He's like, yeah, well, it wasn't as good as the Game Awards, so
yeah.
Mark, what did you think of the Xbox partner preview?
I think I'd echo what the other guys have said. I think pacing was right. I think expectations were bang on. I moaned something rotten about Xbox's general marketing, which I think is rather atrocious. I think their messaging is rather naff. But I think they've really got the showcases down to a fine art now. The dev directing, it's always at the start of the year.
Yeah.
The summer showcase is great now, but these partner directs, I think we get about 2 a year these days, and they're always kind of the right length, right amount of content. Kind of games that, like, there's so many games today that I'd never even heard of before we went live. It was all chaos. I have no idea if that was the thing before today, but it's stealth dropped into Game Pass, and I'm certainly going to download that. My son was having dinner with us when I was watching the direct, and he was like, "Don't like the look of that, Daddy." So that was rather amusing. And obviously Clover Pit's been a big indie success. So yeah, nice to see that come to Game Pass. Just the one thing that's proper bugging me about Xbox, and this is not an exclusivity to the showcase, there are so many games on here that are also coming to Xbox One, but they never say Xbox One on the thing. It's always Xbox Series X and S. So they did it for Clover Pit today. They did it for the Hitman thing, and there was another game on there that's Xbox One's playable as well. But they'll say if it's PS4, but they won't say if it's Xbox One, and I don't get it. Simply don't get it.
that's weird.
Proper
that's
weird.
odd, isn't it?
It's nothing new. They've been doing it for some time. It's just something.
It's a good spot though. So I hadn't picked up on that, honestly.
I do notice that sometimes they don't. Yeah, it's weird, that, isn't it? But like sometimes they just put Xbox, and that means Xbox One and Series. But yeah, you're right. With the Hitman trailer, it's Xbox Series, and it's like, but yeah, very odd.
Yeah,
they just really don't want anybody buying an Xbox One.
That's it. Yep.
Look, if you're gonna buy an Xbox, make it a Series X.
Yeah.
I don't think they want anyone buying one of them the way they're going, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. At least to buy a Series X or S.
Oh dear. Well, look.
Yeah, great show. Did enjoy it today.
Yeah, exactly. I see where you're coming from, Dara, as far as like the heavy hitters maybe not being as heavy when they got to their actual appearances during the showcase, as it were, the preview. I was much more excited about the other things that we saw there, by the end of it. And of course, we're going to talk about those. But like honestly, like I think that's what I felt good about, was even though they may have said like, oh, we're going to have 007 there, we're going to have Tides of Annihilation. I'll say, obviously that I thought looked great, but I wasn't sort of like, those weren't for me the things that maybe go, oh, I can't wait for this showcase. Like I was just like, it'll be cool to see what they have, because they're making it sound like it's a much broader scope of like what could be there. It's not like, hey, this is stuff that's not coming out until 2027 or 2026, or like this is only stuff for like, our select studios that are like, doing some more Fallout stuff or some more bits for Call of Duty or something like that. Like this was a kind of like you don't really know what's going to be here, it felt like. And that kind of happened, which I felt was kind of more fun and interesting.
Just on the 007 thing, actually, I think they played it right though, because I think it's fine to say it's there, because they wrote, like, I always think of Deathloop when like
oh yeah.
I love Deathloop, an amazing game, but it was overdone. It was in every PlayStation showcase for like a year and a half, and it was just not needed. And they run the risk of that because it's been like, First Light has been around a lot in a lot of shows, and because I think because of all the elements that make Bond, like the car, the guns, Q, like all that stuff, of doing a 50-second thing about the car, but also throwing in some tidbits around, and you haven't got 007 status yet, so you can't drive this. And it's like, it's just giving you a little snippet of where you're at with it all and stuff. And I thought it was fine, because it doesn't feel like, and here's a 10-minute gameplay trailer that you have to sit through. And you've seen it all already.
To be fair, I didn't want that either. I didn't want them to just do what they did at the State of Play. Like, I'm not saying, by the way, that I think that they set expectations perfectly. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Just a reflection. That wasn't coming back on you. I was just just a thought, I guess, thinking about the it runs the risk of being overexposed, I suppose. Because I know they're pushing it obviously massively.
Yes,
but
yeah. We're definitely going to see that at the Game Awards. They'll probably have like the song or whatever performed there.
Yes.
You know, like
live.
Yeah,
that'd be quite cool.
Yeah.
Depends who does it, doesn't it?
We'll have to wait and see, I guess. Maybe we can have some predictions on that as well. But yeah, why don't we go on to picking some highlights from the Xbox partner preview? I don't know if you guys have got it open here in front of you or anything like that, but I've got my two ready, but I'm willing to let somebody else go first on the risk of losing mine. That's fine because there are quite a few I was quite happy with. So yeah, has anybody got two? But
I'll just say
two?
I'll just say mine real quick because we mentioned it already, but I really love how Tides of Annihilation looks. I think that looks so good. I keep likening it to Final Fantasy 16 because to me it looks a lot like Final Fantasy 16, and I mean that in a good way because I love Final Fantasy 16's spectacle and its scale and just the big anime-ness of it all. And I think that the combat looks really cool. This is probably my favorite genre, like character action games. So I think that looks awesome. They didn't put a date on it though, so like this is not happening until like 2027 or something.
It was epic, that fight though.
Good.
That trailer was so like I thought, oh, that looks cool, and then there's the thing at the end with that big ball of it, like a spirit bomb, and it just it's just so cool. It goes. Very cool.
Amazing sort of spectacle, as you said, and it's sort of spectacle fighter RPG, character action RPG. Like this, we have to eventually come up with a term that's fixed for all these sorts of games, like your Wukongs and your Stellar Blades and all of these different titles.
I just call them character action games. They're all kind of just like Devil May Cry to me. That's kind of where I put them in there.
But we're getting that intersection now because again, RPG leaks into everything eventually. That's the thing. As soon as you've got a character sheet, like that's basically an RPG at that point. Again, very, very wide stretch there of the term, obviously, but that's what happens, unfortunately, with these things. They get these tags and such, don't they? But and again, we don't know whether or not it's even got that. It could be that it is more of a spectacle fighter game, or a character action game. So that'd be really interesting to see. And of course, Jennifer English voicing in that. Who was
really love the art direction. It's based on the Knights of the Round Table. It's Arthurian inspired, which is really interesting. It's a Chinese developed game, but like they're mixing that with one of the previous areas they showed was based on modern day London, but like this kind of apocalyptic like version of it. It seems really interesting artistically, and I'm excited to see more of it.
Looks very cool. And yeah, as you said, we'll probably have to wait a while till we see. Well, we'll know when it's a release of it, but in the meantime, we'll see more and more epic fights, no doubt, and then just get more and more excited. Mark, have you got one you'd like to highlight first?
Yeah, I'm going to jump in by being the world's biggest hypocrite by picking Vampire Crawlers, and it's got just about everything that I could possibly hate about a video game included in it. However, I do love Vampire Survivors. I absolutely adore that game. And I've moaned to you guys no end of time until it lost my save, and I've not played it since. But the Vampire Crawlers look. What are they going to do with the Vampire Survivors IP? Like, how are they going to do something new with it? They were always going to, but what they announced today was nothing like I don't think anyone ever really thought. But that kind of that formula of just throwing any possible attack and filling your screen with any old kind of a shit to attack enemies and bats and all that, it just looks like a wild time. But so it's kind of like I don't even know how to describe this game. Just reading your summary article here, Addy, turn-based deck builder with roguelike elements. Yeah, oh god,
it's got everything you love.
I thought my throat goes just saying that, to be honest. It's horrendous to me, but I love Vampire Survivors. I'm totally going to check it out. It's very different. It's got all the same wonderful pixel art aesthetic. I'm intrigued to see how the kind of the gameplay and the meta progression is, because that's my biggest bugbear with roguelites. But yeah, you know what? I'm so glad they're doing something extra with that IP, and it's something so different. And I'm actually quite glad it's not just Vampire Survivors 2. So even if it's exactly what I don't want to play, I'm still looking forward to it. And completely caught everyone off guard today. I don't think anyone had this kind of expectation.
No.
And what a following Vampire Survivors has for a game that's the price of a sandwich. It's just huge. And the DLC and the updates they deliver to that game, Ponk will deserve every sale that they get. They totally, and I hope that this one does really well as well. And day one Game Pass, like Vampire Survivors was. But yeah, I wouldn't subscribe to Game Pass for £23 a month when you can probably buy this one for a few quid. So
yeah, fair. That's a good point. But you're right as well. It's not something I think anybody expected, and also like I love how much fun they had with the trailer. Like there seems to be a lot of money spent on that trailer, probably about as much as maybe spent on the game. I don't know, but it seemed pretty cool and epic.
They did that really like high quality graphics. Like, are we going to do 3D graphics? And then no.
Love that. Very good.
Did you guys see the Quest version that was announced during the week as well? I think it was this week or last week. It's basically just the original game, but it kind of happens in 3D, like in front of you. And I don't know how you control it. I don't know if you control it with controllers or head tracking or something, but it looked like a completely different version. I thought that's what this was when when the trailer was first playing. I was like, oh, they just make Vampire Survivors 3D, which I guess would be Mega Bonk, but no, like this is far more interesting than that. But that version looks really cool.
Yeah, very interesting to see that. And I'm glad they're still having fun with that IP. Adam, what's your first pick?
Zoo Punk.
Yeah, good choice.
Zoo Punk, because we were talking about Metroidvanias earlier. It's a prequel to Forged in Shadow Torch, or Fist, as it is known. And if you haven't played that, go play that because it's awesome. Yeah,
it's cool.
And this one I was not expecting. I saw the rabbit and I'm like, oh, rabbit, because I have a rabbit. I love a rabbit. And then like, hang on, that rabbit looks very familiar, and like the squiggly eyes and whatever. Like, I know this rabbit. And like we were seeing, and they just got like, this looks like Fist. Was it Fist? Like, and it turns out it's a prequel to Fist. So we will see what happens. But you play as Rayton, who was the guy before. Who was a veteran rabbit swordsman, and you take command of a diverse team of playable animal heroes. And I had a look on the Xbox store, and it's a team-based co-op PvE diesel punk action type thing, is how it's described. Team-based co-op PvE game that blends diesel punk with Eastern aesthetic. So it sounds like they've got co-op, which is gonna be fun, but it felt quite soulsy looking at the gameplay. But that could be anything where it's got a health bar and you're fighting. It's just some of the movesets look very familiar, but it's probably less punishing than a Soul game, I suppose. But it looks really fun, and I love the kind of style of it, and just it's like the antithesis. It's like Watership Down, just fucking everything up. The rabbits aren't dying, the rabbits fucking you up. So like there's loads of like creatures and stuff, and there's a jewel and an angry pig, and it's like, let's fuck this up. Just set in this animal universe. It just looks so great. I'm really excited for it. Obviously, no idea when that's coming out, and it was like revealed here, so it's probably 2027 as well. But yeah, very much looking forward to that.
Yeah. I'm interested that you immediately went to thinking that it was going to be or have the possibility of co-op. For whatever reason, I didn't think of that. I kind of just more went with like, it's still a single player game, but you either have the option to like switch characters, or they can like come in as like support characters or something like that. Like they offer like they do like abilities, kind of like no, never mind. I can't remember right now. My example's gone already. But yeah, you know what I mean.
So it describes on the Xbox Store saying as having co-op.
Oh, it does. Does it? Okay.
Right. And but then it says in the description that was on the trailer, it talks about taking command of a diverse team of playable animal heroes.
Yeah,
so that's what implies you can. If you play solo, you could probably switch between them. But also
maybe
you have
that's
the option of teaming up with your mates and playing online, presumably, and fucking some angry pigs.
It would be very cool if they were able to incorporate both, because again, that would be fun. Obviously, then both single and co-op, which would be fantastic.
I love that they gave it like the trailer is like 5 minutes long. That's like with Tides of Annihilation. I love that they gave it the time to proper set up that bit of story with it, and then they're like it all kicks off at like, go on, that's great.
Yeah, and again,
that's at least something Sorry, that's definitely something I'd say about the showcase. It gave everything room to breathe.
Yeah, the pacing was great, absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's a fun one as well because in one of those little twists of fate, Fist, if I remember correctly, launched on PlayStation first, and
Yes.
then later onto Xbox.
Yes.
Whilst of course they then get to show off the next game, excuse me, at Xbox. It is coming to other platforms, or we know that already, but still, always fun when that sort of stuff happens. But yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm going to pick the one I covered and wrote up for the site, and again, it's the one that I don't think any of us have figured out how we pronounce it. Armatus.
Yeah.
Oh, is this Doom Returnal?
Where's the point in the where am I to enunciate? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I would have said Armatus.
Armatus?
I said Armatus. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with Armatus.
Looks like Outriders. That's what the vibes I was getting.
I thought at first I thought it was Darksiders the way that the main character looked.
Yeah. That's honestly.
And then they like he's got a gun. Like they're not giving Strife a gun, right?
Strife's already got a gun.
Well, he's not giving him like an assault rifle though. It didn't feel right.
Oh right, yeah. They were like, he needs a gun. Yeah, no, I had the same feeling though when you first saw that figure appear. I was like, how did they just summon Strife? Like, what's going on here? Is this Darksiders 4? And then it cracked on, and you had like a scythe, and the combat obviously was very frenetic and stuff like that. And I was like, this is cool. I like the looks of this. And then realizing it's set in Paris, and it's this whole like religion, like it's basically like an old religious sect that's been left. Like the 4 last members of it have summoned you, and you're searching for like what's referred to as the Sunless Gate, which is like the lost entrance to heaven. So it's like your way of reaching salvation, escaping like a now demon infested world. And that's what you see is like you're running through the streets of like a demon infested Paris, and there's the Eiffel Tower in the background, not all twisty round like it is in Expedition 33, but it is not looking healthy. But yeah, that was one of my highlights definitely from the show. I thought that looked really cool, and it was the one that opened, and I thought it was a strong opener. Honestly, I thought it was a good one.
And Game Pass day one as well.
There you go. Yeah. So got that to look forward to. Very cool aesthetic. Again, I think you get a lot of these sort of games which have very sort of grim, dark, gothic, art styles and stuff like that. But again, I like the mixture of like what seems to be like kind of like very futuristic sci-fi tech, but then also with the religious elements, it got this kind of more traditional, antiquated feel as well. Kind of like what Doom does nowadays, where it kind of just smashes high fantasy and high sci-fi together.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I called it Doom Returnal because it has like the look of Doom, but the gameplay looks a lot like Returnal.
Yes, I'd agree with that.
I thought of Remnant.
That was the one I was trying to remember earlier. Remnant from the Ashes and Remnant 2, absolutely same sort of vibes. That blend of sci-fi and fantasy. Yeah, very much so. Armatus, we've decided. Until further notice, everybody, Armatus.
It'll be something really odd now. It'll be a really weird pronunciation.
Or Matus.
Yeah.
You know that like the M, A, and T is silent, so it's just R.
In a French pronunciation.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Armatus.
Armatus. I like that.
Yeah. We'll workshop it. We'll get back to you, everybody. Right. Who's got a second one they'd like to do? We'll do one more, I think, each, and then we can move on quickly to doing the nominees for Game Awards. Yes. Anyone got one they want to jump in with?
You
go ahead.
You go. Yeah, I think it partially because it again caught me off guard, much like Vampire Survivors did. But Total Chaos, which is out today in Game Pass, simply never heard of the game before. But whether or not it'd been something people were looking forward to, and it's kind of shadow dropped today out of nowhere, I simply have no idea. But Total Chaos looks to be a really weird horror game, like very dark, very sinister, very grim. I would say, but definitely worth checking the trailer out on this one. I don't really know kind of the story of the game yet from the trailer, but we've talked about it earlier today. But I was actually kind of getting some Condemned vibes from this one as well. But obviously this is a bit more supernatural, but kind of the gameplay with the sledgehammer looks to be probably limited ammunition, some things that are hanging around that almost look like Condemned's mannequins. I've really kind of got that feel. I feel like this is going to be a bit more survival horror than an action game per se, and I'm all for that. But yeah, this one really caught me off guard, and I've already hit downloads on my console, so hopefully have a go over the next few days.
Nice, man.
But yeah, if this is like a 6 to 8 hour horror game, it looks pretty awesome. So yeah, super looking forward to that. There's another bigger horror game that somehow skipped the showcase today that maybe we could talk about afterwards as well. But yeah, for what was included in the showcase, this one looked great. And yeah, one of those where you look like you're going to get stalked throughout the game by different kind of beasts, which good and bad, depending on what mood you're in. But yeah, really looking forward to giving that a go. So yeah, it was great. Look forward to that.
Yeah, if I was going to say there was any sort of theme for this one, actually, I'd say there was a slight horror theme. I thought there was quite a bit of horror in this one.
That one had a cool thing. They said some of the music was done by Akira Yamaoka, the composer of the Silent Hill series. So it has something in common with that other game.
It's just even weirder that they didn't mention it.
We might as well bring it up now.
It's so
at the end
strange.
Of the day. We might as well bring it up now, I think. Yeah.
Silent Hill 2's out tomorrow.
So now in some parts of the world.
Yeah. By the time this goes up, it'll probably already be out. But yeah, that was a very strange one. Well done.
It was almost like everyone was
today,
convinced that was going to be
seriously.
shown today, didn't they? It was just
Very weird.
I'd written an
Reanimal
article that,
announcing their stuff beforehand as well. That went up.
Yeah, that was
prior
so
to the
weird.
show. And I didn't see it as a leak. I didn't see anything about it being a
No,
leak.
it was a press release.
But I wonder I wonder if there was a leak somewhere and they just like got ahead of it before.
Maybe.
Like if it, but like
Yeah,
really on it with it maybe.
Possibly. I don't know. But yeah. But yes. Anyway, you got that as well. Silent Hill 2 remake out on Xbox. But yeah, Dara, did you want to do your second one since you were obviously?
I mean, I was the reason I let Mark go first because I couldn't in good conscience jump in ahead of him because it's mainly a joke one. But Eminem in Hitman 3.
Not expecting that.
No. Absolutely.
Eminem taking
you are a
on
big
Slim
stan.
Shady. That was like a cool concept.
It's just like it does kind of look like they're putting a lot of effort in to like pay like their respect to some of like the music videos and the different looks and stuff like that. It's a bit similar to how like Fortnite does stuff when they have like celebrities or crossovers or whatever. It's surprising, but it's not entirely unwelcome. I mean, Hitman just all of their collaborations are really goofy. They have a lot of goofy people in there.
They're clever with it. Yeah, like Sean Bean was a brilliant one to start with, I think. And then they've had some really great ones. Like there's that fantastic actor, something Stormare, I think is his name, who's in like Constantine as the devil,
right,
and things like that. I think he was one of the hits. One of the targets.
Bruce Lee. They had Bruce Lee recently.
Yes.
I did that James Bond collaboration where he had Le Chiffre in it, didn't they?
Right. Mads came out.
Isn't it?
Yeah. But
Yes.
They've done some good ones.
For free content.
Yeah.
That is stellar post game support, just generally, isn't it? Like,
I mean, Hitman 3 is like 4 years old.
Exactly. The game came out absolutely ages ago. They just keep supporting it, paying these actors and Slim Shady and Eminem to be in the DLC. They're like one mission. Like fair play.
I'm a big Eminem fan. I'm just a little. I'm being too picky. I wish it was Eminem versus Stan. That would have just been.
Man.
That's
He might be in there though, like an optional extra.
That would have been. But would have been so good. I mean, picky now.
Yeah, that was a very cool surprise, that one. But yeah, Adam, do you want to do your second pick?
Cross one, and that is how I'm pronouncing it. It might be croissant or something like that. Like is it in France? Like a croissant? But no,
confuse everyone.
Croissant.
It took me a second to actually realize what you were talking about.
Just sound like I was having a meltdown. Crosswan. Everybody else hearing what he's saying?
Like a town crier.
Yeah. Ringing a bell. Crosswan. No, as soon as I'm getting this, but it reminded me of Symphonia,
Yes.
actually, which is a game I loved. That it came out. Well, I think it came out in multiple stages, but I played it at the back end of last year, and it was just amazing. Precision platform, and it had a very similar feel art style wise. It's a different studio, but you're basically playing, from what I can gather, a crow in a top hat and a cape, and he's got a scythe. I'm like, all I need to know. And it's a platformer with like, I said it was like Symphony, but Symphony didn't have any combat, but this has got like action adventure combat type stuff, and you swinging your scythe at bad guys and stuff. The art style looks amazing. The different kind of levels and places you go to just look ace, and it just looks super fun. I'm just very excited for it. It just very much my vibe.
Yeah.
I love the look
Looks
of
pretty
it.
hardcore as well, doesn't it? It
Yeah.
looks like the combat looks like no joke.
Don't give a fuck. Yeah.
That's
It's got
gonna
like
be
that. It's not just
super
like
tough.
yeah, you've got the platforming and bouncing off enemies and attacking them in the air and all that sort of stuff over pits of spikes and shit like that. And it just looks super fun.
Hollow Knight as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My stream like kind of froze while I was watching this, and I actually thought it was Silk Song DLC for a minute.
Yeah. But they even got some Donkey Kong vibes, because there's a bit where he's in a minecart, but he's got a shotgun or a blunderbuss or something like that. But yeah, just looks super cool. It looks like he's got some like powers and stuff. Bosses look fun. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people describe me as sort of Bloodborne meets Hollow Knight, which I think is a pretty apt description. I've been following this on social media for a while. Like, yeah, really, really interested in this one. I think it's like possibly a solo dev or a very, very small team that've been working on this. They did really well on like their Kickstarter, and it got first announced because again, everybody was like just mad for anything that Hollow Knight kind of similar to, and so I think it got a lot of traction there, and they've just been slowly working on it. Was hoping for a release date, but there was none. That was a very sort of clear gap between like all the platforms and it coming to Game Pass and stuff like that, and the title, but no date. And I was just like, all right, fair enough.
Wow.
They probably want to get past Silk Song. Like even
Absolutely.
for another Metroidvania, I'd say even now is still dangerous territory to be in.
Yeah, next year, 2026 is your year. Absolutely, that'll be great. Because even if Silk Song gets some DLC, you'll be fine. I'm sure of it. And then yeah, I think for my last pick, I will go for. Let me get back to the page. Yeah, Echo Generation 2. That one was a fun surprise for me because I played the first Echo Generation back when it came out a few years ago. Yeah, so the developers of that game and Ravenlock, if people have played that.
Great game. Love Ravenlock.
Yeah, I like that
really
one.
good.
Yeah,
Really
so
enjoyed that.
Ravenlock was super cool. Echo Generation, the first game was a sort of turn-based RPG. And so of course, like Echo Generation 2, like seems to be doing some really interesting stuff with new characters as well. Like I don't know exactly, I couldn't tell enough from the trailer, like how exactly it was related, but you know, again, looks really, really fun. I love the voxel style, and theirs is like, each game they do, it just seems to get more and more detailed, more and more like fine, and like just love the look of this one. Such a unique style, and yeah, I love just love the aesthetic of anything like that right now. Really, really digging it. So yeah, that would be my last pick, I think, from the Xbox partner preview. But yeah, there's a lot of great games shown off there. I mean, we've only picked like 8 between us. Loads of other good ones for people to check out there. Erosion was another really cool looking one. Obviously, we talked about Reanimal. We mentioned Dave the Diver, of course, out now today on Xbox, with DLC coming next year. The Mound Omen of Cthulhu, looks like a cool sort of co-op horror game. Yeah.
That one looked really cool, but I just know for a fact I'm never going to be able to play it because trying to coordinate 4 adult calendars to play a game like that, it'd probably be about a decade till we finish it. So it looks really good.
It sounds like you're trying to
know I'm never going to bother play it.
It sounds like you're trying to coordinate 4 porn calendars. 4 adult calendars. I don't know where to put them on my wall. I can't do it.
Oh my goodness. All right, let's move on then to our final news topic, and then we'll close out the show. Of course, earlier this week, we did get Jeff Keighley sharing with us the nominations for the Game Awards. for those of you who want to see all of that, obviously you can go and visit the website and things like that. Did we do a roundup article on those? I did one for the Indie Games Awards. I don't know if anybody got around to doing the Game Awards. So. But yeah, in that case, I will probably put a link to the website below in the description.
Yeah. There's a lot of categories, isn't there? Yeah,
there are quite a few, and a lot of them are ones that, frankly, a lot of us, at least on this pod, probably don't know much about, in particular the esports side of things.
Esports.
Yeah. Again, I recognize a couple of people from, like, I think it was the streamer or content creator category, because they had like Moist Critical or Charlie.
Tyson App was in there
as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I recognize that one. Yeah.
So there was a couple in there. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, at least this time around, I can actually go like, well, I can vote on this because I actually know who somebody is here. But it's still with like the esports ones, I'm still like, sorry, I don't follow this stuff, so I don't know who any of you are, I'm afraid. But there we are. But yeah, I think we were going to talk more about possible snubs, things we thought were, a bit odd. They maybe weren't in certain categories. Again, I've always thought it's odd that certain categories only seem to have 5, others get 6. I understand like Game of the Year gets more. That's fine. I don't mind that too much. But the fact that like there'll be like the slightest discrepancy between like what seems to be like art direction and then like sound or whatever, like one of them gets 6, one of them gets 5, and it just like I don't really understand what's happening there.
I also don't understand how they can put a game in that's not been released yet. Like Deadpool VR isn't out yet, and it's been nominated as one of the best VR games of the year. And like
that one's out now.
Comes out 23rd, I think.
I think it came. No, I got a notification on my phone that it came out. I think it only came out this week though. So
it's very late.
Yeah, unless they had it early or something. The jurors did.
It came out on the 18th.
Yeah.
It came out 2 days ago.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still very late.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much time they would have had to play that.
It's weird though, kind of the windows, because like last year Indiana Jones came
out
before the show, and this year it's in the best action adventure category. It should be. It's fantastic. It was such a good game.
Yeah,
but like it's kind of a weird kind of time scale windows that and the general kind of methodology of the awards. I don't fully understand. I know it's like user kind of user votes, but
there's a lot of feedback around like that because of the best adaptation. Sonic 3 released in December, so therefore it hasn't appeared this year, but it couldn't have been in last year either.
Yeah, that's a really weird. So I think that category in general is dumb and shouldn't be there.
There's all films on TV like
that is really. Yeah, it's really blatantly Keeley, I think, trying to get actors in the seats at the awards. But I think a lot of people have been going crazy because the nominees in that category are like the Until Dawn movie, which I've heard is just complete trash and not got anything to do with the game.
Is that a Sony IP by any chance?
Yes. Yeah. I do think that let's just say I think that Sony being Sony and Netflix being Netflix has something to do with these nominees, but I'm not trying to allege anything to Jeff Keighley. but
he's a biased motherfucker, is what he is.
Jeff Keighley has many sponsors. This show has many sponsors. That's my feeling towards that. But people have been going crazy because that's there. The Minecraft movie is there, but I mean that was a massive movie. The Devil May Cry animated series, people have weird feelings on. I thought it was fine. There's that category is getting a lot of heat right now, but I don't really think it should be there at all.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not my.
Although I kind of see the argument for it, because like with games being one of the biggest media. It's bigger than films, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the biggest. It's the biggest.
For that. So like you can see why that would have, and where is it going, and because it struggles, doesn't it, to make inroads, has previously struggled to make inroads in film, and there's like cash-ins, and it's been shit. I mean, you look at some of the ones we've had in the past, and then there's really good ones that haven't made the cut. Are you like,
yeah. To me, it's rewarding companies for, I don't know, like buying into games. It's not really trying to award art. I think it's just trying to look like the Oscars, you know? Like you don't see other award shows. You don't see like book awards having categories for films that are adaptations of books or anything like that.
I would rather we've seen Secret Level on here than a lot of these. As much as a lot of the episodes
I forgot
didn't
about
hit,
that.
I think Secret Level deserves to be on here far more than at least 2 or 3 of these other nominees, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, the Splinter Cell show as well. People were like, that only came out like a week ago and nobody talked about it. I don't even think it was in Netflix top 10.
Yeah,
I love the idea of a book awards having trailers for upcoming books. Like more trailers for upcoming books than the awards, and like
just slow panning of books.
Just a page.
To be fair, I mean,
just different words appearing on screen, like the clock.
Oh, dude.
600 pages. Sorry, go on.
No, not to play like downplay any of the awards, and like obviously winning these is an incredible achievement for any of the categories and any of the developers that make these games. But some of these things, if you watch the Game Awards, they're kind of pre-show awards, and they're kind of like swept under the carpet. And so
I hate that.
If you're kind of looking at this screen here from kind of bottom to top, anything up until probably best fighting game maybe, or best family, anything there and beyond is typically like a pre-show like award, and kind of frankly I think I find that like makes it a lot less relevant, and probably kind of much lower down the category. I love how one here is called best family, but I mean that's probably just Jeff and Hideo, isn't it, in a room? But
sorry,
but I couldn't read that.
Oh, what's he written?
Please wrap it up.
Ah, very good.
It was thematic. It was on top.
Yeah, I think you're right. And again, a lot of them also end up getting bundled together in like the quick fire sections when no one comes up to receive the award, but it's like still happening during the award show. Like that to me, I find quite sort of disrespectful, just because they often end up being things like debut indie game, and it's like this is a huge deal for them. Like I appreciate that they're getting their names said out loud and all the rest of it, but like, unless they've said like, oh, I don't want to come up. Something, like give it a moment to breathe at least. Give it 10 seconds to show a bit of gameplay or something so people can go, oh, that does look cool. I might buy that.
Well, exactly.
Like, come on, like give them something. But yeah, I think
it's kind of the thing of it. Oh, sorry, Harry. I thought you finished. Carry on, please.
No. You go, Mark. You go.
I mean, I think that's the kind of like the nature of the Game Awards, isn't it? It's kind of the awards is for the industry. The trailers are for everyone actually sitting at home watching, making
absolutely
Jeff Keighley some money on YouTube. And that that's fine. I've got absolutely no problem with that. And I don't think many people would sit at home and watch an entire game award show. I think that would be like watching the Oscars, and nobody does that. So that has to be that kind of fine line balance. But yeah, like you say, when they're doing those quick fire, best esport athlete, and then Sydney, I forget her name.
Goodman, I think.
Oh yes.
Yeah, the pre-show that people aren't watching yet necessarily.
Yeah.
And like it's just going to be like glanced over, and it's in many ways it's a little bit disrespectful, I think.
And it's not even like it's like they cram so many in at once as well. Like there's 3 or 4 done, and there's like, and then like it's just come on.
That's it.
Here's another 8 minutes of trailers. Like, come on, guys.
The balance has still not been found yet. It's always going to probably teeter backwards and forwards and things like that, but an award show, again, I can only imagine is probably one of the most stressful things to try and organize and have run and all the rest of it.
It's his main job though, because it's the one that he appears in every announcement he's in. And the creator of the Game Awards.
He is very much the face of video games, isn't he? Jeff.
Yeah, but like Mark makes a really good point though, that like they spend so much time showing trailers and stuff like that, and doing the whole kind of press and advertisement for the next year in games, or the next 10 years or whatever it is. But it is called the Game Awards, and many of the awards happen in the pre-show or are just kind of sidelined. And then we have cases like in 2024 where there was the please wrap it up thing, where developers weren't even allowed to speak for more than 30 seconds. And it just creates this I don't know, this veneer that it's like, the show is supposed to be this big celebration of the industry, but like we all see what's going on here. We all see that like it's the trailers that people are showing up for. It's the commercials. It's the sponsorships and stuff. Like the best score in music category is sponsored by Spotify this year and stuff like that, you know, like the best adaptation thing being kind of a promotional thing for films and getting actors and getting film studios on board and stuff. It's just I get that it has to be this way or else there wouldn't be anything. And look, I mean, they announced the next game by, you know, Team Eco Gen Design last year. So obviously I'm going to, you know, pay attention, but like, it's still, we can all kind of see what's going on is basically my point.
He gives more time to skits with the Muppets than he does to the awards of the people who created the game.
Okay, well, I don't mind those. I like the Muppets.
Yeah,
that's it. You have more time for the game
he goes back in.
You bollocks with your Muppets, right?
Make a Muppets game.
Yeah.
Muppets game would be great.
I want that.
Make a Muppets game. You heard it, Jeff. Make it happen.
The one thing I'm glad that in the last couple of shows, because I found some of the Game Awards kind of COVID years and the couple after, and I'm all for the orchestral performances because I think they're like a nice thing that you're not normally going to get. But I'm so glad that they're shorter now, that they seem to be go on forever. Before, like 10-15 minute orchestra, I'm like, oh, man, just get to the trailers again. Whereas now it's like one song, and then obviously the Alan Wake 2 performance a couple of years ago. I don't think I've ever seen a developer look, well, maybe Joseph Ferris, as happy as Sam Lake. Sam Lake isn't from Remedy, dancing on that stage. Now that you know what that's what it's all about.
I do love that they do that with the Game of the Year award as well, where they do like they orchestra play the score from like each game and they show the trailer proper and like that's really cool to do because that's how it should be, right? I mean, you can't do that for every sparkle for doing it. But, like it's cool that they give that.
You got the flute guy.
The flute, that guy who plays a brand new instrument every time. That guy rocks.
He's great.
I hope that everybody is ready though, because I just know Kojima was watching Sam Lake on stage, just rubbing his hands together. Like they put that song in Death Stranding 2 where like Dollman dances to it, and we are all going to be subjected to that on stage this year.
Yeah, because Kojima's going to be there. He's now a recurring character in the Game Awards.
Oh yeah, no, this is his favorite night of the year.
Yeah,
it's Jeff's favorite night of the year because Kojima is there.
This is it. Exactly.
I'm sure there's some fan fiction out there with those two.
Oh, of course.
Stop.
It totally is.
Absolutely. Is. But that's for GoPod, not for here.
I'll take it to GoPod. And he bend him down on the stage.
Okay, Adam. We haven't got the Patreon yet, for Christ's sake, man. Hold something.
Let me show you
back.
my solid snake.
Yeah.
Naked snake.
Mark,
Naked snake.
I trusted you.
It's about to become liquid.
Oh no.
Oh no, man.
Look. All right. Well, look. Does anybody want to call out?
Snake? Why? They had solid snake, liquid snake, and then it was Solidus. They never had gaseous
Venom.
snake. Like, where's gaseous snake?
Gaseous.
Right. Does anybody else have anything they want to bring up about the nominations, at least the nominees? Any particular snubs that they're upset about? I think that Keeper should have been for art direction. I'm surprised that Keeper didn't make art direction.
South of Midnight.
South of Midnight as well, yeah.
South of Midnight art direction. South of Midnight sound. Anything sound.
Yeah.
Art direction.
The fact they didn't get anything sound-wise is a shame.
Score-wise, I mean, the music in that is some of the best music I've heard. Like, because it worked. Like, I think I've often thought that, like, music, like, I'd love a musical game. Like, because I do a lot of theatre and I like musicals, but like a musical game is quite hard because it's choreographed with the music and stuff like that. And that felt the closest to something like that I've played. I know there are games out there, like, I think, is it the one where, is it Billy the Rabbit that's being chased by that demon and you're running towards the thing and he's singing along and stuff like that? And I've seen that online and stuff like that. I can't remember the name of the game.
Billy Buster.
Yeah. That felt close to that as well. But like the Two-Toed Tom and all that sort of stuff and the kind of choreography of all of that, whilst you're fighting the boss, it felt like it was designed with that in mind, that sort of playing to the music, but it didn't feel like it was so scripted that you weren't playing. It was just a cutscene. You were playing the game, but and just the fact that didn't get anything, like, come on. Like, and you know, no disrespect to any of the games that are nominated, but like that deserved it. I think that was a big one for me.
Yeah, South of Midnight's art direction is so good.
Yeah.
And you look at games that are in the art direction category, and you know, great art direction in their own right, but Silksong is nothing new. It's been there. Hades, I've not played Hades 2, admittedly, but I imagine it's very similar to the original. And Death Stranding, you know, yes, creative and as Jote, but again, not necessarily like an original piece. There's something so unique, and I think that maybe just kind of screams something about the methodology of the Game Awards, that it is absolutely a popularity contest, and there's no showing away from GTA is going to win absolutely everything next year because it is a popularity contest in the way that the voting is done. And
it's probably not coming out next year anyway, so I won't worry about that.
I think I do agree with a lot of that sort of sentiment when it comes to best art direction category. Like there are definitely ones that I look at, especially because a lot of the sequels as well. So it's like you already have your established looks and things, so it makes it a little bit more like you're not bringing anything new to this necessarily. And as much as it's one that people like, I would have appreciated to have seen others highlighted. Like honestly, like I know it's the sort of game that probably wouldn't have made it in just because it wouldn't have had enough people writing about it. But something like Despalote, like the art style, the art direction for that game is incredible.
It was in best indie debut.
Thankfully it is getting like some, which is great. But like that's another one I look at and just go, damn, like no one's doing this. No one's doing this.
Did Harold Halibut come out this year?
Sorry, which one?
Harold Halibut.
No, that was last year.
That was last year. Yeah.
Just like games like that do something very different, like
the Midnight War,
or Keeper, or Midnight War.
Sword of the Sea.
Sword of the
gorgeous.
I completely agree, but the sequel stuff, it feels lazy, doesn't it? Like again, it's like Mark said, it's the popularity contest more than doing something different. Because if Hades 2 is running the same engine as Hades, or the same art style or whatever, then it's not changing that much, is it? Like,
yeah, but the definitely the character designs in Hades 2, I would say, are really impressive. Like there are ones that are redesigned from the first game, so it's like returning characters. But a lot of like, and I would say in terms of art direction, it comes together really well. But yeah, I definitely agree. Like I thought the Drifter had a gorgeous art style as well. Dreams of Another as well. I reviewed that. I thought that had a great look to it. Indies, I think, generally have a tough time competing here because obviously the first thing people think of are things like Death Stranding and Ghost of Yote, where it's like running the most powerful engine and have the most money injected into them. But there's a lack of diversity here, I would say. Yeah,
definitely. The other thing that stood out to me, I think we talked about it on the Discord, was Hell Is Us, just completely not there anywhere. Like South of Midnight appears in a couple of places, but like Hell Is Us, just not on the radar. And I'm annoyed actually because it's Team Cherry's fault. It got absolutely by Silksong, and Team Cherry should apologize because they just went, "Oh yeah, fuck it, we'll just release it then." And like any game that released that weekend is absolutely not. You just don't talk, no one like fucking talks about it. Hell Is Us is an excellent game, and sure, it might not be the best. Not everybody likes it and all that sort of stuff, and it from a position that I think we talked, it was
game direction.
Game direction.
Yeah.
The whole way of guiding, not like just encouraging you to explore your own innate how do I play a game. Was amazing. And like I think you said, Aaron, no other game has done it that way. Like other games have messed with it and stuff like that, but not to the level the kind of the detailed way of doing it, the well thought outness of it all.
Yeah.
And Team Cherry need to write to them and fucking apologize because they absolutely blew them out the water with that. Totally unfair.
It is actually somewhat impressive that Silksong isn't in the best game direction category, considering we know now that the reason that it took so long to make was because they just wanted to keep going and they didn't crunch or anything. They just, took their time with it and crafted the best game they could craft. And there was that discussion, I think, when The Last of Us was nominated for Best Game Direction, that Naughty Dog had a really bad work culture and a crunch culture. And is there a place for that in the best direction if, these are the practices you're using to finish the game?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that's very valid. And again, I haven't got the Game Awards website up in front of me here. I'm looking at the GameSpot page, which has all of them listed. But I would assume that there's some sort of descriptions for each one, but they always end up being so kind of like amorphous,
The
undefined.
indie one is like games published outside the traditional like framework or the traditional field, and it's like, okay, well then any indie game with a publisher doesn't really count then, does it? Because indie publishers still operates as publishers.
Yeah it throws everything out of whack, I feel, in a weird way. But honestly, taking the award show kind of system and trying to work on that is its own topic, I think, and trying to break down how they will work. And I don't think we've got enough time for this one, guys. We've just passed the 90-minute mark, so I think it's about time we wrap things up.
But before we do, who do we think is going to win Game of the Year?
Oh, no, we're not doing that yet. No. We'll do another episode closer to. No, we'll do it closer to the time. No. We'll do it closer to the time. We've got loads of time.
We're talking about our awards later on. Surely, we can fuck off the Game Awards because ours is going to be better anyway. Also, Mario Kart World cannot win any awards.
I thought we'd do a whole episode where we do we run it through. We do all of them.
Really?
Well, why not?
We're going to really struggle when it gets to best esports team.
Okay. Not all of them, but the ones that we know about.
Obviously, Team Falcons. What are you on about?
Yeah, exactly. Adam, shut up.
Sorry to Team Falcons. My bad. I wasn't aware of your work.
But no, again, we can talk about this obviously. But yeah, I just thought we'd give it its own sort of time for us to all kind of do our own little predictions and stuff like that.
All right. Fine.
If you want to share yours now,
I'll go fuck myself.
No, go on, share yours. Go on.
Well, I've not played hardly any of them, but it's better than last year because I haven't played any of them last year.
He brings it up, and then he's got no fucking answer ready. Jesus Christ!
Obviously, it's Donkey Kong Bonanza.
All right, okay.
Because that's the one I've played, but it's also excellent. So
fair enough.
Better than last year. I didn't play any, but I guessed the right one.
Hey.
There we go. But I didn't play any last year, but I guessed it right.
Well done.
So,
well done. Right, let's get out of here then. So, what are the games everybody's looking forward to? I will quickly say I'm very much looking forward to a game called Routine that I did a little editorial on. It's a first-person sci-fi, atmospheric sci-fi horror game where you are a sort of software engineer that's gone onto a lunar space station on the moon. It's completely sort of empty of its occupants, and it's got these sort of murderous robots, security robots that are hunting you down. It's got very strong kind of Alien Isolation vibes. It's got a retro futuristic 80s kind of what the 80s saw the future as kind of aesthetic. Looks really, really cool. And what was really interesting to find out on my little journey down the rabbit hole was to discover that this game was originally announced back in 2012, proceeded to then go dark for nearly a decade, and resurfaced briefly in 2018 to say that for the small indie team of 3 to say, oh, we've updated to the next engine, going from Unreal Engine 3 to 4, and then they resurfaced again back in 2022 with Raw Fury as a publisher, and then also later on being, oh yeah, we've now updated to Unreal 5. So the game is now coming out 13 years later after its first sort of reveal, and it looks super cool. It was revealed 2 years before Alien Isolation came out, which is a really kind of cool kind of thing to think about. Yeah. So go and check that out. That'll be obviously linked below. But yeah, that is the game I'm looking forward to. It's coming out on December 4th, I believe. So yeah, super excited for that one. Looks really, really good. Very, very cool visuals, high fidelity. The gameplay looks very tactile, stuff like that. So I recommend checking that out. Dara, what game are you looking forward to?
This is the first week in a while, actually, where there's nothing coming out, I don't think.
Yeah.
Black Friday sales are happening, though, and I'm looking to pick a few things up during that.
Cool.
Sonic Racing and Trails in the Sky. Those are the two I'm on the lookout for.
Great calls. Very good calls. Absolutely. Mark, what are you looking forward to?
A couple of things. First one, super quick, is Thank Goodness You're Here. It's now coming to Xbox. So a game not part of the showcase today. I know that's got such an amazing following and is full of people that probably sound a bit like Addy. So lots of Yorkshire accents in there, and in the article I put
All
in
right.
today,
I thought you were going to say like a twat.
I was going for the nice bit. So yeah, hopefully looking to pick that up around launch on Xbox in early December. But the big one I'm looking forward to, well, bigger, is Sleep Awake, and that's a game I've been covering on the site quite a bit up until through to launch in just a couple of weeks' time. So Sleep Awake, I played the demo on Steam Deck last week, and I've written an impressions article on the site. Super impressed. Everything that kind of I was promised from the trailers looks to be playing out in the game. Psychedelic nuts game about the doing everything possible to stay awake. So it's a little bit more walking simulator than I hoped. Well, sorry, than I expected. But that's kind of what I was quite happy about. Very light stealth elements to the game in terms of trying to stay away from enemies and survive. But yeah, the narrative seems spot on. Really, really twisty, really bendy. In terms of the kind of the way things they seem to go. One of the guitarists from 9 Inch Nails is doing the music for it, so the soundtrack on the trailers is sounding top notch. So really excited for this one. Hopefully it'll be something we can get a review code for ahead of launch. But yeah, super looking forward to that one.
Awesome. Adam, what are you looking forward
to? Metroid Prime 4. Because we are 2 weeks away from a Metroid Prime game.
And her vroom vroom, her motion.
No, I'm not looking forward to that. I think.
Have you seen the new controversy?
Yeah.
Mackenzie? Yeah.
Sounds really bad.
I mean, like, it sounds like you're not with him for a lot of it. It sounds more like the early game.
But there are multiple bounty hunters or Galactic Federation.
Maybe not as annoying as that, but I get the criticism that Samus is a lone wolf type thing, and having people just in your ear all the time is a bit disconnected from what we're used to, I suppose. But I'm just excited that we're finally getting it 8 years or whatever it is after it was announced, sort of thing. So I'm just excited for that. Bike aside, because I think it looks shit.
Very good. All right then. And with that, that is the end of that is the end of today's episode. I think no better way to finish. But yeah, thank you three for joining me today. Thank you for all of you listening and watching. Of course, everything we talked about today will be somewhere listed down in the description below. Please, if you enjoyed today's episode, leave a like. If you have anything you'd like to share with us, any thoughts, feedback, or questions, drop it in the comment section below. And if you'd like to see more content like this, then consider subscribing to the channel. And of course, please do go and visit the Gamer Social Club website at www.gamersocialclub.ca for all of our written content. We do a whole lot of stuff there, a lot more than what we've mentioned today, loads of guides. Check out this month's demo disc. It's our monthly article where we cover a whole host of demos for you to check out and try for yourself, a bit like the demo discs of yore, if you're old enough to remember those. If not, ask your parents. But yeah, we've got loads of work over there for you to check out, and there's sure to be something that to interest you. But yeah, otherwise, thanks again, everybody, for joining me today. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, play some great games, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.